up, everyone? This is the Spaced Out Podcast with Blair Socci, yours truly, comedian and philosopher and woman, I guess. So, I am thrilled to welcome you to space, baby. We're going to be really getting into it. I've been wanting to have a podcast for so long. The things that I am going to be talking about on my show, and get ready for this: pop culture, womanhood, mental health, and yeah, a little bit about aliens. And, I have lots of kind male fans, and I want to thank you, men, for being allies, supporting a woman in the arts. But I really wanted to make a show about all my interests for the fucking gals, okay? Yeah. And men, you're allowed to listen. You're welcome. But are the topics for you? I'm not really sure. I think they're really for the girls, the gays, and the days. So, why I wanted to start this podcast, I have had quite the year. If you don't know me, I'll just give you a brief rundown. I don't know why you wouldn't know me. I've been on TV, so many times. It's criminal, really. But if you don't know me, I've had quite the year, a life-changing year, if you will. Maybe one of the most brutal years. So starting the year off, I did have a large golf ball-sized tumor removed from my head, of which you will hear more in depth about in forthcoming episodes. That was quite a big thing, getting that thing extracted from my old noggin. And my dad took me to that surgery, drove me up to LA, got it done, got it taken out. They told me for 6 months I was going to have to shave my head before. That was really worrisome. I'm a very vain girl. But I survived that. As soon as I survived that, after laying at my parents' house for 2 weeks, go back up to LA. Oh, I guess it was an arsonist. Started some record-breaking historical fires. Took down whole entire towns of Los Angeles. Many people lost their home. I had to even evacuate at one point because the fire was in less than a mile from my beautiful rent-controlled apartment. So then that happened. We're all recovering, trying to make sure the air we breathe is okay. Because, they love to tell you about 9/11, how even the people that survived the towers crashing, so many people got cancer after from all the debris. So hopefully all those burned Teslas will be okay. Elon, I'm not a fan of you. If you're listening to this, honestly, don't even listen to this, Elon. If you are, turn it off. It's not for you. I don't want you to even be involved with us, okay? Then, after the fires, the 8 staples in my head, I get diagnosed ADHD, autism and ADHD. And that was a shocker. Yeah, you'll be hearing a lot more about that as my entire history and life are being recontextualized with these diagnoses. And now I know why I can hear electricity, and why a leaf blower will make me punch myself in the face. And so, I've been learning a lot. I've been learning a lot. I've also been learning that a lot of the things that I like about myself are a result of these neurodivergent symptoms. So that's pretty cool, too. It is becoming a lot more common. Women apparently don't get diagnosed till they're in their 30s and 40s. Psychotic. Beautiful healthcare system in our country. Just top notch. Love it. Okay, so then after I get that diagnosis, which was absolutely crazy, I cried when I found out to my best friend Rosebud Baker, who was sleeping over at my house. when I did receive the diagnosis after 8 weeks of evaluation. We laugh about it now, but it was very shocking to me. You will be hearing a lot about Rosebud Baker on this podcast as well. My best friend, also very famous, incredible comedian. Watch her Netflix special, Motherload, on whenever you can. It's very good. And then a month after I get these diagnoses, my precious, precious angel brother died. And this man, what he meant to me, I can't even quantify. So that was catastrophic. Someone that is that close to you, I've never had someone that close to me die. I mean, maybe the closest person. And that just makes you a different person overnight. And so this year has been me rediscovering myself as a completely different person while touring and picking up the pieces with my family and in my own life. And every day has been a new journey. And every day, when, if any of you sadly know about the grief, every day in itself in a 24-hour period is a roller coaster, because I could be extremely happy, joyful one minute, and then I hear a song or see a smell, his favorite food or anything, and I'm crying a second later. So it's a lot of emotions every single day. I'm already a deeply, deeply, deeply sensitive person prior to all these events happening, and a very deep feeling person. So I've been navigating all of that, and while being a comedian. And what an interesting, perplexing, peculiar job it is to be a comedian. You know, when your job is professional clown, when you have just had every ounce of your being shattered into smithereens, and then you must go onto the stage and entertain the people. It's been quite the juxtaposition. Um, and I probably will write a book about it. We'll see. But we're going to be talking about it on this podcast. And, you know, people keep telling me very nicely, I might add. I mean, I can't even believe how loving and supportive people have been. I'll actually have to say, for this year, with all the atrocities, not even just talking about in my own life, globally, very upsetting as well. And in our nation, and then, you know, in my own specific life, the way people have shown up for me, the people in my life, lifelong friends, new friends, and strangers, even fans, I can't say enough that it actually has made me restore a lot of belief in humanity. I mean, I have felt carried by the people around me in my lowest moments, and it has been really interesting because people, again, what I was about to say, sorry, the ADHD, you'll come to know and love it with me, um, have said, wow, it's so incredible how vulnerable you've been sharing about your grief. And I'm always mystified by that, and complimented, but mystified, because I am not someone who can hide any emotion. Like, you know, I just can't not discuss it. It is the only thing that I'm ever thinking about. My brother, his name was RJ. You will be hearing me say his name quite a bit. Um, he was one of two brothers. I have one other living brother, thank God, older. Thank God I still have him. Love you, Hayden. And we've all been getting through it together. But RJ was, you know, such a funny, supportive part of my life, and we were so goofy together. And he actually came up with the name of this podcast the day before he died. And so that's really special to me. Spaced Out with Blair Socci. Because I asked him a few names. I said, what do you think? And he was always so good at naming stuff. And he came up with that. And so I'm proud that that's the name of this podcast. And I'm excited to sort of channel a little bit of our super sweet, incredible, cosmic relationship through this podcast with you guys and hopefully give a little bit hope to anyone who is going through tragedy and who has suffered a lot of grief. One thing that's so odd is that we as humans, we know conceptually that everybody dies, but somehow we we have suspension, cognitive dissonance, suspension of disbelief, like you forget until you actually really experience it. So that's a really, interesting part of humanity that I've been meditating on a lot. Um, and I have had a lifelong journey with mental health myself. And, as a lot of comedians and artists do, and neurodivergent people, but deeply feeling people, experience the world sometimes in a much more violent way. And also, on the other hand of that, joyful way. And I have been thinking about how deeply this tragedy has affected me, that it oddly, because I have now experienced the worst thing that could ever happen to me and the deepest pain that exists, I oddly have more access to joy than ever. Like when I am happy or I experience love or beauty or anything, it's so much more magnified because it's sort of like an essence of relief to me, to the pain. So that is one plus that I really love to think about, and that makes me happy. And I always think of it also as like my brother giving me a gift and wanting me to keep going, because when he did die, I really thought like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm going to have to quit comedy because I don't know how I can tell jokes or be happy again, because it feels like my body has been sawed in half. And so I did live with my parents for like 6 or 8 weeks, and I had to cancel a ton of tour dates, um, and just like be with the family and hunker down and be with each other before I could get back on the road. And then at some point, I just decided I have to get back out there. And my parents were like, you have to channel your silliness through RJ. RJ would want you to keep going. He would hate for you to stop on his account out of sadness and stop living your life or give up on your dreams. And so I went back on tour and I toured this entire year. And if you are listening to this, I have to give a huge thank you to all the people that bought tickets and came out to see me on tour during this year when I was going through the worst year of my life and did not know how I would do comedy. And, I cry a lot, but I did also realize after a couple weekends, like, once I get on stage, it's like I'm transported for an hour where I'm just, like channeling being a clown and being silly and all this stuff. And it actually made me think that it was all so magical. And so I'm just so grateful for all of you for showing up to my shows, buying a ticket, saying a kind word, sharing a video of mine. It means the world to me, and you have no idea how much you got me through this year. And so right now I'm kind of laying out why I'm starting this podcast, and I'm going to get into, where I'm at in my life and where I want this podcast to go and what we're going to be talking about. And obviously there will be a lot of comedy, but I am also maybe pathologically the most earnest fucking person on earth as well. And I didn't know that I was autistic. That is part of being autistic. And that's what makes us autistic people such beautiful souls. Is that we can't fake anything, bitch. Okay? There is no artifice here. If you want any pretending, you will have to find it elsewhere. Um, but yeah, I don't want you to think that this is only going to be like a sad podcast, because it's definitely not. But I just wanted to update you on this year and like how this is starting and where I'm at and all the different beautiful complexities of life that all the different things and emotions that I'm holding at one time, and just putting one foot in front of the other. And each day is sort of like, I don't know what the day is going to bring. It's like my life has made a complete reset. And I wanted to make my own show, like, that really reflected me, because a lot of times over the years, like people have come to me asking me to start a podcast or whatever, and networks, they want you to do something super niche, a really niche topic. And I just can't do that. I cannot do that because I have so many goddamn interests. I am the most goddamn curious cat that's ever lived. I love to learn. I want to know all the facts and the knowledge. And for what? I don't know. I don't know. I enjoy it, bitch. That's the reason. That's the reason. Um so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. My life changed overnight. I'm gone through a lot. I'm still somehow still fucking standing. A lot of when you experience like that type of change and ferocity in your life, a lot of shit gets stripped away. You really realize what's important and you get a lot of clarity about what you want to do and where you want to go. Um, so I basically want to make, a show for my community, people who like wackadoodle shit, people who love pop culture like I do. You know, I'm chronically online, bitch. I spend like 33% of my day on TikTok. I'm so sorry about that, Mom. Don't listen to that part. If you heard that, that's not even true. I totally just made that up. So don't even listen to that. I'm very engrossed in my work. And then I want to talk about mental health because I have been so affected by it. And I hope to really talk openly about it because almost everyone I know is on a mental health journey in this state of the world at this time in history. And I think we need to talk about it more and support each other. Um, we are living in an age right now where we are so on our screens, so in our houses, so ordering food to our home, not even going to the grocery store to talk. So everything, we are extremely isolated. And you're talking to a numero uno isolator here, bitch. Okay, I love to isolate. It's a big problem. Noise the shit out of my friends. They basically have to get a tow truck to get me out of my goddamn house. But I'm realizing this year's taught me that mental health is really about community. And so I'm hoping we're going to have fun here, talk about that, and yeah, like get somewhere with this. And, if I can show my survival and my recovery of I mean, I had a whole mental health journey way before this year and I made a beautiful recovery. And so like I definitely want to put that message out there to people that it is fully possible. Um and yeah, that's a big part of my purpose going forward, I think, in my life and my career, obviously, with comedy. So that, yeah, my brother, huge influence on me and goofiness. And you may have noticed at the podcast that he came up with the name. Um, there is a little bit of aliens going to be talked about, and that's because I used to have a great time with RJ sending alien TikToks back and forth to each other. Um, you know, just always hypothesizing about aliens. And just so you guys don't think I'm a fucking freak, I just want you guys to know that I never thought about aliens one time in my entire life before 2021. Okay? Before the government just said, "Hey, guess what? They're real." Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 like really hit us up and made us believe that they're real. So they're real, and we're telling you now in the middle of COVID. And then no one cared. No one even batted an eye because there was like lockdown and we were like cleaning our groceries or whatever. So it was perfect time for them to disclose. But I was just struck over the head by this. Nobody seemed to care at all, but I could not believe it. I was like, what do you mean? And why are they telling us now? They must have some reason for disclosure because, there's been rumors and, all this stuff that they've been compiling for, I don't know, 70 years in the government, going back way, way, way presidents. And, all this like lore about Area 51, all this stuff I never even took a second to look into before 2021. And so I just want to say it's fun for me to talk about aliens. I like talking about it with my brother once in a while. And the way that I talk about it is sort of like, it's not like, okay, I'm an alien truther, like I'm 100% sure. It's more in a fun way, like, what if they are real? Seems to be a lot of talk about them lately. And I will say on this first episode of the podcast that my position on aliens is that They are benevolent. My ideal ass, and maybe this is the autism, the pure-hearted autism coming up, but I do believe that the aliens are benevolent. Otherwise, they would have already blown our asses up, you know? And I think that they see us like treat us the way that we treat dogs, you know? Just like, oh, okay, you cute little guys down there, you know? And then they're just flying around, standing by, trying to make sure that they don't, unless they need to intervene if we blow are trying to blow each other up, you know? So that's why they're like flying around. That's my belief, okay? So that's just my, rudimentary take on aliens or UAPs, as the official people call them, unidentified aerial phenomena. Not UFOs anymore. UFOs like vintage 90s nomenclature. But yeah, and supposedly they're 2 billion light years ahead of us in intelligence. But then I'm like, okay, how are you able to quantify their intelligence with ours as 2 billion light years ahead? I mean, who made that study? I don't even know. I have to question that one myself, even though it does sound kind of right also. And then, like 6 months ago, when all that stuff came out, and like, look, you can look this up. This is all. I'm not insane, bitch. I mean, maybe a little cuckoo cuckoo in like a cute way, like in an extremely intelligent, pure-hearted way. But they're having multiple congressional hearings that are you are able to look up, and they are on tape about this. And so I'm wondering what the disclosure is all about and why they feel the need to disclose now. And I guess we will all be discovering that together, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun, and that they are gentle and mean no harm. And we have way bigger issues to worry about, like nuclear war or some shit. But Trump he's like slashed all the goddamn funding for NASA, which really pisses me off. I'm going to try not to talk too much about politics on here, but I am very obviously concerned for the direction of our country. A lot of things I find terrifying and upsetting. But they already have a million podcasts about that. So I'm not going to try not to talk about that shit, although I know it will come up sometimes, JD Vance, you're a fucking bitch. Anyways, so how am I coping this year? Obviously, I have a lot of special interests, which is what this podcast is going to be really about. I'm obsessed with pop culture. I always have been. I find it so interesting. I love history. I love facts. I love watching TV as, a recluse. As a cozy, quiet recluse, I love going to bed extremely early. If I don't have a comedy show, my ass will be in bed on the couch at 8 p.m., out by 9:30, my dream. And I will be talking about, womanhood. I am in my 30s. I'm really wanting a family. I'm wondering how that is going to match up with my life as a bohemian ass artist touring all over the country and world, how I'm going to make that happen. I'm untangling my relationship with men, because, I have never been a male-centered woman my entire life, I've realized. We didn't have those terms back then. But I have decentered men my entire life. I really have. Aside from falling into some long-term relationships where I was like very anxiously attached and definitely centered them. But outside of like, and I think that's a big reason why I'm fearful of a relationship, even though I've done a lot of therapy and worked really hard on it, because I do want to meet my soulmate man, but I don't want to be with anyone who is not my God-given soulmate. And that is maybe, again, romantic, idealized. I'm a lover, baby. I am such a lover. You will see it. Some people disagree, like my best friend Rosebud. She says I'm a hardcore avoidant, that I stiff arm all men and Heisman them. But I am working very hard to be more open, because I want to receive this man. And I'm hoping RJ is going to bring me the perfect husband to heal my broken heart, who has gigantic shoulders and is a really good man with ironclad values and unshakable morals. He's very generous and thoughtful. He's also on time, and he also loves to go to bed early. My friend Amy Silverberg famously says that a lot of times the success and health of a relationship is based on if the two members of the couple like to leave the party at the same time. You can't, like, a lot of times it doesn't work if you have one who's a person who likes to leave the party late and one that, like, a sleepy girl like me, the ultimate sleepy girl. If I was a Pokemon, I'd be Snorlax. I don't even know if you guys know what Pokemon are. And I'm not afraid to show my age on this podcast. So any of you that want to shame me in the comments for knowing about millennial shit, guess what? I'm a millennial, bitch. I have a side part. I never went to the middle part. Why? I have a widow's peak, okay? You're not going to trick me into doing a middle part. And also, I don't care what you think about me. You want to know why? Cool people, actual trailblazers, don't give a fuck what the masses think about them, okay? All that matters is that I know who I am, I like who I am, and my close people know who I am, and they are my rocks. Which leads me to another topic that will heavily be discussed in regards to womanhood, marriage, family, children, all that, is female friendship. Anyone who knows me, one of my favorite talk subjects, it's in a lot of my stand-up, it's in a lot of the scripts I write. I feel that female friendship is the best part about being a woman. And anytime I say this, men get really upset. Even though I know that men do have the capacity to have a deep friendship, sometimes there are men that are able to create that for themselves. But the vast majority, I mean, I don't think they're talking about the depths of their souls in the way that me and my girlfriends are. We know every single thing about each other. There's nothing we don't know about each other. Like, we have cried on the floor together. We have celebrated all the wins together, and it is just the most enriching, nourishing part of life to me. I think even after marriage. Because, we used to live in villages and tribes. And now, again, like as I was saying, everything's so individualized. But for me, as someone who has been single a lot of my life and single in a lot of more years that my friends have been coupled up, the female friendship, it's like these relationships are so deep and so nourishing to me. It's that I'm not even like thinking about like the absence of a romantic relationship all the time, because like all my emotional needs are met. I still do want to get married and meet a fabulous husband who's just incredible, and us have a beautiful family together, and teach our little children, meatball Division I children, how to run routes, and probably be the best athletes of all time, and also pretty wacky and silly. But the reason I'm not like out here dating, like chasing this, is because I have all my emotional needs met with these incredible women in my life. I mean, I am just beyond lucky. And it's just like they're such easy relationships, and they're so deep, and it's so satisfying. And they're all such smart women. And I'm in awe of all these people. So you will be hearing a lot about female friendship. And that's what I was saying to the boys out there. You're more than welcome to listen, honey, but I don't know if everything on here is going to be concerning you. But if you want to be here, you're welcome. So yeah, how I've been coping as a completely brand new person. Obviously, my girlfriends and some of my guy friends. I do have a few amazing guy friends, more than a few actually. I just like forget. I'm really working on this overall view of seeing men as working on untangling my relationship of how I see men. Obviously I've been a comedian for a long time, so I've interacted with a lot of interesting men with very different values than me. A lot of really great men too. I mean, I have been some of the best men in comedy, I thank the living Lord, have taken me under their wing over the years and honestly helped launch my career. I toured with Ron Funches for 6 years. He was so nice to me. Got to go to sleep exactly after the show. We'd maybe get a sweet treat, and then we'd go to our rooms, go to sleep. Can you imagine if I was with one of those like poonhound men who like wanted me to go to the bar after doing 2 shows a night in like freaking Indiana or some shit? That'd be hell. And that's the reality for a lot of openers. And then I got to tour with Anthony Jeselnik for a long time. Complete gentleman, so nice. Still a dear friend today. And then before RJ died, I was touring with Mark Maron. So nice, so smart, just so kind. Like, I got really, really lucky. But, that's not how it is for a lot of people. So I somehow got shielded. I think it's because I'm just so upfront about being so sleepy. I'm like, the show, I mean, I can't do anything after the show. I just unloaded my entire self and body at the show on the stage. I left it all on the stage, baby. So anyways, these people have all been so supportive of me. Strangers, when someone dies also like this, they say you will be so shocked who is there for you and who is not. Like, some people were from my past, like from 20 years ago, I've been the greatest support, or strangers, or, just it's all so unpredictable and so interesting and honestly really beautiful in a lot of ways. It's made me feel a lot closer to God. And also, I want to say on episode 1, I do talk about God sometimes. Like, I love God and spirituality. To me, God is divine, loving intelligence. I don't fuck with religion. I support anyone else who wants to be in religion. I love that for you. Have at it, bitch. You have my full support, unless you're a Christian nationalist trying to ruin the country and repeal all women's rights and brown and black people's rights and gays and everyone cool. Then you are my enemy. But everyone else, if your religion doesn't hurt anyone or hate anyone, then you have my full support. Me, I am not a religion gal because I don't like people telling me what to do. I guess that's a comedian thing. I don't like rules, and my autistic's internal sense of justice, like, I know what's right and wrong so seriously for me personally, for what I believe is right and wrong. So that's why I'm not involved in that. So if you hear me talk about God, don't get freaked out. Okay, I'm not some like religious nut or anything. It's just like a beauty thing for me. Okay. Also, how have I been coping? I went on tour, got to see all your beautiful faces, had some incredible laughs, a chuckle. I loved it. It was beautiful. So many of you hugged me, got me the sweetest gifts. I couldn't believe it. I would just say, thank you, God. I would write in my journal, thank you, God, after every single show. I couldn't believe it. And then travel, I went to Croatia for a couple weeks. That was a beautiful, mystical experience. I will be talking about that more in forthcoming episodes because I had crazy signs from my brother communicating with me while I was in Croatia. And I also went to Croatia with one of RJ's best friends from college who I barely knew, and we became truly best friends. But I knew how much my brother loved her, and she invited me, and it was just this mystical, incredible experience that I want to talk more about. I did have my first cigarette ever when I was in Croatia. I never smoked cigarettes because I was a hardcore athlete growing up. You'll find that out if you don't know that already. But it was so fucking fun, and I felt free there and connected to my brother, and in the ocean, it was just incredible. So travel, I've been coping by traveling, and then the other is online shopping. And this one, guys, I don't know what this one, Blair Bears, that's what I call my fans, Blair Bears. Blair Bears, the online shopping has been worrisome. I will say that. And yes, I did cope by online shopping before my brother died as well. So it has been a lifelong thing, and I love clothes. And that's been a real problem. I have bought some incredible things, though. I will say that bring me a lot of joy. And, for the ADHD girls, it's like instant dopamine, the online shopping. And I never buy anything I don't use. If I get something and, it's not perfectly right for me, I return that, okay? But still, the online shopping is a problem because it just brings me so much joy. It improves my life. It helps me express myself. I just get so thrilled. I mean, I bought 2 Prada bags in the middle of the night a couple weeks ago. Am I proud of that? No. Do I love having them? Do they make my butch ass outfits look so much more incredible and balanced? Yes, they do. So that's one thing. I do link a lot of my stuff if you're interested in that, because I love putting the girls on. We will be talking about skincare a lot. That's one of my special interests. So get ready for that. I love skincare. It's an obsession and really fun for me. Then TV, of course. I am a TV head. I love to bludgeon myself with some TV after the day of work is over. Okay? I watch a lot of TV. I am a Bravo gal. I hope that the Bravo heads will find this podcast and get a little extra dose of aliens and psychological analysis along with their Bravo. That will be fun to talk about. This summer, while I was going through it, I watched Love Island. And that's the second summer I've watched Love Island now. And the thing about it that makes it so engrossing is that it's on every day. And so it would be like, I have to be home for my stories, for my programs by 6 p.m. I'd be like mad if I had an early show because I was like, no, I want to watch it in real time, my program. Like the olden days, where the family would sit around with their TV dinner and wait for like the Merv Griffin show or some shit. I don't even know what they watched back then. Something like that. Probably something like the Merv Griffin show. I don't know. So yeah, TV, pop culture, and then obviously I have a TikTok problem. I don't post as much on TikTok, but I'm going to start posting because I really feel like I should be posting there in the medium that I love because I love to consume it. And what I love about TikTok is that it's such a wholesome thing. For me, my algorithm is so wholesome. So I'm not seeing all this heinous shit that's like disrupting my nervous system, when I'm on there. My feed, my algorithm, it's donkey sanctuaries, which I hope to have one day. A few donkeys. They're the sweetest, happiest, cutest, loving animals. It's a lot of babies and dogs raising where the couples get a dog and a baby, or they get a puppy at the same time they have a baby, and so you watch them grow up together. Incredible. I mean, what makes you feel better than that? It's cooking. It's watching people make these elaborate French recipes in their beautifully decorated apartment with lovely French lounge music playing in the background. I love that. I mean, and then, it's the hot chiropractors on TikTok. I got so deep into the chiropractor TikTok. It's so satisfying to watch them absolutely smash, annihilate, crunch these people. It's so satisfying. I love it. And some of them are real hot. I mean, they've got incredible muscles. Do I fully know if I believe in chiropractic? I'm not even sure. I really don't know for sure. Have I gone? Yes. Then I found out I am hypermobile and probably not supposed to go, but I probably will go again. I find them interesting, So those are some of the things. Oh yeah, and then obviously I follow a lot of like psychologists on there. I follow a lot of cool artist girls, the makeup girls. I mean, I follow so much stuff on there, and it is truly a great time for me. Am I doing a commercial for TikTok? I really should. You should sponsor me, TikTok. Am I speaking directly to China? Oh, no. We bought it. The U.S. bought it back or whatever. And Trump said, thanks to Donald Trump, you get it back. They'll probably take it over soon. It'll be pretty soon be a J.D. Vance, Charlie Kirk propaganda machine. But until then, I'm really enjoying it before I have to delete it like I had to delete Twitter when Elon Musk bought it. I had my most followers on Twitter. I used to love Twitter. I was a real Twitter gal. That was a lot of fun for me. Then I had to delete it one day because that psycho motherfucker took it over and made it horrible hell space. Disgusting. So this is sort of an overview of what the podcast will be about. It's a lot about my special interests, a lot about fun. It's a lot about, feelings, a lot of feelings. I got a lot of feelings, and I think you guys know that. Happiness, sadness, all of them. We're going to get into it. Food, I love food. We'll be talking about that. Cooking. And I'm gonna have some solo episodes. So, like this one, I'll be having some solo episodes, especially because I like to deep dive on shit. There's gonna be bottle episodes where I want to deep dive on one thing. Then I'm gonna be having some experts on of things that I'm really interested in. So that's really exciting to me. I can't wait to have some of these experts on because, bitch, as I said before, I'm the most curious cat you've ever fucking met. I love to learn, bitch, and I hope you do too. And if you do, this is the podcast for you, honey. And then I'm gonna be having, of course, some of my comedian brethren on. Um, so there will be really fun comedian guests on as well, some of which know me very well and will have a lot to say, roast my ass, deep, deep talks with some of these people. Some I won't know. Some will be super famous. Some will not be famous. But yeah, I'm super excited. We're gonna have a wide range of guests on here. And I have a list of people, some people that you would never guess that I'm dying to have on my podcast. So that is super, super exciting to invite them into space with us. So pop culture, just a little quick rundown. Things that I'm interested in this week. The Taylor Swift album. How did we like it? Really mixed reviews. I saw on TikTok that a lot of you were hating hard. And the anti-Swifties could not have been more joyful. And you know what? You guys are just haters. Not my problem. You know why I like Taylor? When anyone asks me why I like Taylor, I like her because to me, she represents girlhood. And everyone collectively feels joy about girlhood and understanding each other and experiencing it together. And to me, that's beautiful, bitch. I'm not someone who has a lot of regrets, and that would shock you given that I've lived like 20 lives and done so much crazy shit and experienced so much crazy shit. But my biggest regret is not going to the Eras tour. That will haunt me forever. Like, I wish to God. The amount of TikTok videos I watched of that, it just looked like the height of joy. Truly. Ugh. And so, yeah, there's been a lot of, I'm not like one of those hardcore Swifties that decodes everything like the goddamn Da Vinci Code, but I love to watch the other people on TikTok do it, decode every Easter egg and every lyric. And then I discovered this whole side of, I'm going to sound like a boomer, but that's fine. I've already told you, I am going to sound like a millennial boomer sometimes, and that's fine. I'm not trying to impress any of you. If that unimpresses you as some Gen Z bitch, then see yourself out. Just kidding. This is a loving space. But anyways, I discovered this whole site of TikTok called The Gaylers, where, and you probably know about this, but I didn't know about it, where they all secretly think that Taylor's gay. And it wouldn't be a big deal because you're obviously this woman is happily engaged and it's one of the greatest public love stories to ever play out in pop culture. And it's been so much fun to watch and see this woman who has brought us along with all her relationships through her entire development from being a young teenager through her 20s to adulthood. And we've seen her through everything. And then she falls in love. But then these gaylers present, I swear to God, the most incredible collection of evidence that you've ever seen, where you're like, whoa, you have put together such an airtight display of evidence that I could see why someone would think this is true. So again, I just find it interesting, and I'm not saying they're right, but also I find it interesting too. What if it is right? I don't know. I am listening to the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I already read the book, but because I am in Australia right now, I'm just listening to it, and it kind of reminds me, and it's just so fun. I do like this juxtaposition of her maybe saying, what I present to you is one thing, and what is in my private life is different, baby. I support that. It's fun. It's interesting. Artists should be interesting. They don't owe us everything, even though you're getting everything from fucking me, baby. When anyone asks me, which is why I haven't been on a Hinge date in a while, although I'm intending to start up again in a couple months, because the first question is always, how many siblings do you have? So I obviously haven't felt like doing that lately, but I would just always say that I had 2 brothers, and then I'm the youngest, only girl, because I love my brothers so much. I love my family so much. So that's that. That's really the rundown. I just wanted to give you an overview about where I'm at, what's going on, how this podcast came, the genesis of it, what we're going to be discussing going forward. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you how passionate about this show that I am. I have wanted this exact iteration of this show so badly for so long, and I teamed up with this awesome company, Mick, and they're just so incredible, and I couldn't be more grateful. And we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be on YouTube for you guys to watch, and then a quick little few segments that we're gonna end each podcast with. First is we will have weekly Freako Fact of the Week. My friends know I love to call people Freakos. It brings me a lot of joy. And this week's Freako Fact of the Week on episode 1. How about this one, guys? Get a load of this one, honey. You are 10 times more likely to get bitten by a New Yorker than a shark. Can you imagine? I was wowed by that fact. In 2024, there were 47 confirmed cases of unprovoked shark bites worldwide. And for perspective, when the New York City Department of Health tracked human bite incidents in 1977, they recorded a staggering 892 cases in a single year. So actually, this is factually based. Freako Fact of the Week. That's very startling. I was just in New York last week. Ugh. People shouldn't be biting that much. I don't know. Biting is so ew. Don't like it. Don't like it. But it does also highlight the fact that people really overestimate the amount of shark bites there are for how scared people are of sharks. Anyways, that's been Freako Fact of the Week. Okay, now on to Complainer's Corner. I might come up with a cuter name for that, but as of right now, we're workshopping it as Complainer's Corner, and that's where I complain about something. I'm autistic, so I have a lot of things to complain about. This one's not autistic, though, and that's Denise Richards, loser husband, Mr. Aaron. I don't know his last name. Want to know why? Because I don't give a fuck. He just got arrested for domestic abuse. Thank God. Bye, bitch. We all wanted you to. I can't believe Denise kept your ass for that long. And also, I just want to say this. And if anyone, if my producer could zoom in on my face right now, because I really want this camera. I really want you to hear this if you're a man, even though no men are probably listening to this right now. If you are a man who marries a woman who is a star, a bright, shining star, who's wealthy and has earned, a huge amount of success, and you do nothing, but you manage to bag her, and then you get a divorce, and then you request spousal support, and you don't have kids, you're a bitch. You're a little bitch loser. So, thank you. I just want to put that on record. And we love you, Denise. You're so kind. You're just so loving. The way you are with your children, adopting, you have special needs. I mean, this man, we all knew he was a fucking freak. He showed himself on that one episode at that dinner party on Beverly Hills Housewives, where he started talking about EMF and all this weird conspiracy shit. And everyone's like, whoa, this red-faced motherfucker, he's bad news. And then, of course, it comes out he tried to take all her money, but now he's arrested. So any man that hits a woman should rot in hell and in jail. Bye, Aaron. You're a loser. Denise, we are all pulling for you, bitch. You are so gorgeous, so talented, so nice, and you deserve the best, and you will have the best. Okay, that's Complainer's Corner. Thank you. And now to our last segment.
Galactic Gossip.
This is where the little bit of the part of the log line and a little bit of aliens comes in. So each week we'll just have a little alien tidbit. And this week, I wanted to talk about the 2022 documentary about the Varginha UFO incident in Brazil. Yes, Varginha. It sounds like vagina, but it's Varginha, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly because I don't speak Portuguese, if you can believe it. But It's called Moment of Contact, and I saw it because actually RJ recommended it to me, and it was so good. And it's about this incident in Brazil where three women in 1996 came in contact with this alien. Um, and like there was just multiple people corroborating the story. I do think that the government eventually got this extraterrestrial being, and then the body was ultimately shipped to the United States for study. So, if this documentary is correct, the US is in possession of alien bodies. But we'll see, bitch, won't we? Because Congress is discussing disclosure as we speak quite a bit. Over the course of the last 3 years. So we'll see. We'll see what's to come. But if you haven't seen that and you do have any interest in aliens and want to follow along with this little tiny segment at the end of each week's podcast, check out Moment of Contact. Quite a good movie, documentary. Well, I mean, I guess it's a documentary. Anyways, this went by so fast. I had the time of my life on this first episode. And, this was really an overall run through. But I can't wait to get into everything more in depth with you. And again, we're going to have so much fun. Might cry a little bit. I love to cry. There's nothing wrong with it. And we're going to laugh a lot. And we're going to get into so much knowledge and facts, bitch, because that's what's so much fun. And thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, share. It's going to help me so much build this show. Okay, until next week, this is Blair signing off of Spaced Out.